Alright guys, today we're talking about NFT marketing. We're going to be covering 10 tips. Make sure to stick around to the end because we're giving away $2,000 worth of absolutely free value. You are not going to want to miss this if you're building an NFT project. Let's dive in. Alright guys, so 10 NFT marketing tips. Let's do it. Before you even start listening to me or taking my words seriously, it's important that you understand who I am. I'm the founder of Omni Agency. We specialize in blockchain, Web3 community building and nurturing. We're working with numerous projects right now in this space that are doing really interesting things, and we're helping them grow, build, and nurture large audiences and communities behind their projects to help them sell out an NFT project, to help them have a successful post-launch, to get very engaged communities and derive market research from them, and all the things that you can do with a really thriving community. So based on this, we've came up with 10 tips that we think are very, very important for anyone that's starting an NFT marketing strategy. Whether you're a marketing manager, an owner, you need to know this information if you want to set your project up for success. 10 tips. They make a difference. So let's dive in and start with tip number 1. The first thing to do is ensure viability. You need to define your audience and make sure, does my audience resonate with one, the space that we're operating in, Web3 blockchain? Do not fool yourself. There is a barrier to entry in crypto, and unless you have a strategy tailored towards educating and converting Web2 users into Web3 users, or you have lowered that barrier to entry somehow, you're going to be struggling to reach the audience that you're looking for and convert those audience members. So first and foremost, define your audience. Make sure that the market research pairs up with who you're trying to target. Secondly, let's build a story. What you're trying to do when you're selling an NFT project is you're trying to build a community behind the story of the project. A lot of projects, not all of them, but a lot of projects, what they look to do is essentially use the NFT round as a fundraising round and then leverage those resources to build whatever story they've been promising their audience. Other projects, they do the vice versa of that, which I definitely encourage, but they build the technology first and then they sell the NFT to support the furthering of that project. What you want to be making sure is that in either of those scenarios, there's a story for your brand. If you want brand advocacy and you want a very dedicated community, you're telling that story. You're getting everyone invested in the story. Make sure that you're very articulate, clear, and consistent with that story. The next thing here is to develop a kick-ass NFT. You want to sell something that people want to see, that people care about and are interested in. Typically, you want it to be visually appealing. There is an art-based audience out there, like it or not, that want to purchase good art that they see within projects, and they purchase for the appeal of the project. Do not discount the value that you can gain from this art-based audience. It's important that you recognize if you're targeting utility-based purchasers that is not of primary importance to you, but it is a factor that I would recommend not neglecting. The next thing we should touch on here is building in utilities. A good project has good utilities behind it. They give people a reason to buy past just the appeal of it, in my opinion, unless it's a 100% art-based project, which we typically as an organization don't work with. When it comes to building in the utilities behind your NFT project, you want to be thinking, again, who's our audience? We've defined our audience. What's going to resonate with our audience? If you haven't already, do market research. Don't make assumptions that you think, oh, they're going to love this. You need to understand, speak with, communicate with the individuals that are actually going to be the ones purchasing your NFT at the end of the day. Market research, very, very important. I've said it already 2 or 3 times in this conversation. The next thing here is doxing your team. Having a dox team just helps with credibility, trust behind your project. It's hard to understand what the actual impact of this is because it is a non-tangible. You're not deriving metrics or results from this. But what I've been seeing consistently is that if you have a docs team, your project has a lot higher likelihood to sell out. You're a lot more official, and it helps people to pair a face to a project or something that is more of an abstract concept. So again, dox your team, put them on the website, put them on your socials, make sure people understand there's real living beings behind this project. The next thing here is to build a kick-ass website. A nice website is well optimized. It stands out. Your main objective with your website is to educate your audience base, potentially gather information for some other type of direct marketing targeting. Email, for example, getting them to join your Discord. You want to set up a landing page that differentiates you, gives your audience an understanding of your product, what you do, the specific utilities behind that project, the amount of NFTs that you're selling. Ideally, you want this to be Web3 compatible. A good tool that a lot of projects that we know use for building websites is actually Webflow. Shout out to Ty Smith. He's been a great advocate for Webflow. Ty Smith, the owner of Coinbound. If you aren't really familiar with that agency, they're a kick-ass agency in the space. Alright guys, so moving on to item number 6, what we want to be touching on here is building out strong social proof. Social proof is, if I'm an audience member and I'm coming to your project, I want to be able to see that you have some credibility. There's some proof that you are socially viable within this ecosystem, within this crypto sphere that we have going on here. People want to see that other people are interested in the project, people are investing in this project, there's proof that there is a viable concept here, and this company has credibility and trust with me based on the fact that I see the amount of social peers behind it. What you want to be doing to grow social proof, there's a couple of different things that you can touch on for this. One thing that is typically the lowest hanging fruit in my opinion, on the social front, is building up a strong social following with good engagement behind your project. There's tons of different ways to go about growing your social following. I have a lot of other videos that touch on this, so if you haven't already, please make sure to check out our channel, like and subscribe as well. But when it comes to being able to build that social proof, having 20,000 followers on Twitter, good engagement behind that, and some real members there, that is a foundation to build from. And when I say foundation to build from, what I'm referring to is collaborations. Collaborations are and have been a kick-ass tactic in the space for growing your project, reaching real authentic audience members, and getting in front of people that have similar interests as to what this other collaborative partner is pushing to their audience. With this, you can leverage multiple collaborations on a monthly basis to reach these people that you're trying to get in front of, and also build up the credibility behind your project even further by having reputable collaborative partners to work with in the space. Again, high level, build that social proof, leverage social proof to get other relationships with other higher social proof companies, reach their audiences, pull from their audiences, and leverage their audiences for bigger reach. Moving on to item number, Item number 8. Apologies if I missed a number there. Editor will probably fix that, put up the real number on the screen up there. So what we want to be touching on here is a kick-ass minting strategy. A kick-ass minting strategy, kick-ass being my buzzword today, is essentially how are you going to roll out your project? How are you going to sell your NFTs so that you build momentum behind the launch? That is the principle of what we're trying to get at here. What I mean when I say build momentum behind the launch is essentially what can we do to, when our first, let's say the whitelist purchasers make a purchase, we can encourage, incentivize them to promote the project and push the fact that, hey, look at how many people are buying. You don't want to miss out on this. Build that FOMO up behind your project and create an effective mint rollout strategy that enables every single purchaser to get more people involved. It not only enables but incentivizes them to do so, and to also help you build that FOMO behind your project. Timing the mints appropriately is also very important. You don't want to roll out a mint to your project, to your community, if you have 1,000 community members, and of those 1,000 community members, you think 2% are going to convert. What you want to be doing is rolling out a mint when you recognize that you have enough community members to at least sell out a significant portion of your first phase of the mint that you're going for, and you think relatively well that those people also will help bring more people to the project. So basically what you're looking at here is your Discord community size, your active members, and then you're trying to understand a percentage that you think might convert. This varies so drastically from community to community that it's really hard for me to say what that's going to look like for you. But if you're going to sell 1,000 NFTs, for example, and you have a community size of 10,000 people, you think maybe 5% of that community is going to convert, and you think the 5% that convert, they might buy 1 to 2 NFTs and then further promote the project to do your mint strategy. You can then start to understand, okay, you know what, if they buy 2 NFTs, we have 1,000, we can sell this project out. Or they're also going to invite other additional individuals, so we're looking fairly strong here. Let's move forward with the mints according to schedule. Helps you make better, more educated decisions about when to actually roll out the project, and just put yourself in the best position for maintaining that perceived proof, that social proof, that strength behind your brand, keeping the momentum going. And then the last thing here, quick and simple, don't fail to pay attention to the post-mint strategy. If your NFT project does great and then it flops in the aftermarket, in my mind, that's not the most successful project. So keep a close eye on that. Figure out after you mint, how are you keeping momentum, how are you keeping your project active on the marketplaces, and how are you keeping your community engaged and advocates for your project. Alright guys, so those were the 10 tips for NFT marketing. I hope that you got some great value from this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. I also mentioned we're doing a $2,000 giveaway. Omni Agency, again, we specialize in this. This is our bread and butter. We're giving away a $2,000 audit where we're going to sit down with you one-on-one for an hour, help you build out a marketing strategy behind your project, and basically take your community from 0 to 100. If you are interested in this, if you're a crypto NFT project, and you're getting involved in marketing, this would be phenomenal for your business, for your product, and your marketing team. Make sure not to miss out for this. Make sure not to miss out on this. The giveaway is in the description below. It's a link to a Google form. Once you participate in that Google form, you'll be entered into the giveaway. We're raffling this off at the end of September. Thanks guys so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe, and we will be back next week with another video. Bye for now.